Hello everyone, let's take a look at exercise 47, where we are going to combine our knowledge of multiplying our brackets with working with roots. That's what the word I was searching for. Let's take a look. Root 5 times 3 root 5 minus root 2. Those two roots here are non-like, so I cannot subtract them, but what I can do is multiply out the brackets like so. And remember, these are multiplication, it's multiplying out the brackets, which means that I can always do this. And you can do this in one go. For the first one, I'm going to write down an intermediate step. The intermediate step that you get would be this, right? Root 5 times 3 root 5. That's the first thing. And then I do root 5 times minus root 2. You can write it down in two different ways. You could say there's a plus here, because you have the root 5 that's positive, times minus root 2, as long as this part becomes negative at the end, because this part is negative. Which means root 5 times root 5 is 5, right? Because roots cancel each other out. You could also say root 5 times root 5 is 25, and root 25 is 5. The numbers in front is 1 and 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Root 5, as I just said, times itself becomes just 5. Plus, and then you get root 5 times minus root 2. So this is actually going to be negative. Minus root 10. And again, here you have an answer that's for some people might be uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be. The final answer is 15 minus root 10. Root 10 I cannot factorize. It's too small. So this is it. Okay. And that was A. If you want to, you can write it down in, not really one go, but you can skip one step what I just did. Again, what you're going to do is this. And if you want to, you can write this one down without writing down first 2 root 3 times root 2 plus 2 root 3 times minus 2 root 5, and do it in one go. Let's see if we can do that. 2 times the number in front of root 2, which is actually a 1. 2 times 1 is 2. And root 3 times root 2, 3 times 2 is 6. So that's the first thing taken care of. Now the second thing, 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. Root 3 times root 5, 3 times 5 is root 15. And believe it or not, we're done here, because root 6 I cannot factorize, root 15 I cannot factorize, and they're non-like roots, so this is just your final answer. 2 root 6 minus 4 root 15. Let's see. 2 root 5 times 3 root 2 minus 4 root 5. Again, what you're going to do is this. On the test you don't have to draw those red curves, right? But when I'm explaining, this helps some people. Let's see, the numbers in front of the roots times each other. 2 times 3 is 6. And then the root 5 times root 2 is root 10. That's the first one taken care of. Then 2 times minus 4 is minus 8. And now root 5 times root 5 is root 25, which I know is just 5. And this we can simplify. This is 6 root 10 minus 40. Which now I stop, because again I cannot subtract those. 40 as in the root. This is root 10, non-like roots. So here I stop. Okay. The first 3 examples are with only one thing in front. But what I also can have is double brackets. 5 plus 2 root 3 times 6 minus root 3. And here you get what I oftentimes call the parrot speak method, right? Something like this. And do it multiplication by multiplication. So let's start at the top. We do 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. Done with the first one. 5 times minus root 3 remember this minus 1 root 3, so minus 1 times 5 is minus 5. Here there is no root, so it's just root 3 again. And I'm done with the top. Then 2 root 3 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12 root 3. Again, root 3 here, no root here, so the root stays the same. And then we have 2 root 3. Now we're done with this one, by the way. Then the last one, 2 root 3 times minus root 3. Minus plus becomes minus 2. Root 3 times root 3 is just 3. Right, because root 3 times root 3 is root 9, and root 9 is 3. Here we can simplify, because we get 30. Yeah, you can immediately do this here as well, but let's say I don't do this yet. And only do minus 2 times 3 is minus 6. And now we can simplify. 30 minus 6 is 24. Those are like roots. Minus 5 plus 12 is plus 7 root 3. Or your answer is 7 root 3 plus 24. That's also okay. See? Let's do another one. Because oftentimes you guys find double brackets a bit more difficult. Let's first copy the exercise correctly. 2 root 2 minus 5 brackets 2 minus root 6. Let's do the multiplications. 2 root 2 times 2 is 4 root 2. 2 times 2 is 4. There's no root here, so root 2 is still root 2. Check. 2 root 2 times minus root 6 becomes minus, because there's a minus here. Root 2 times root 6. You first have the 2 still, right? So the 2 here is also here, 2. Then root 2 times root 6 is root 12. Which you should be careful of. That could be something we can factorize later. Check. Minus 5 times 2 is minus 10. Check. And minus 5 times minus root 6 becomes negative times negative is positive 5 root 6. And this is going to be quite a hassle here, because root 2 and root 6 and root 12 are not like terms. But root 12 I'm not done with yet, even. Because remember, root 12, I can write it down here, root 12 is the same as root 4 times root 3. Which is the same as 2 root 3. So the final answer here is 4 root 2 minus, and remember there's a 2 here in front as well, so we have 2 times 2 root 3, because root 12 is 2 root 3, but I have 2 root 12, so 2 times 2 root 3, minus 10 plus 5 root 6, jeez. 2, 3 and 6 are all not like roots, so I really get a big string of roots added up here. And you don't have to do this, but what I prefer to do then is try to make an overview, and you can, for example, start with the lowest roots first and then the whole number at the end, or start with the whole number, just for overview. So let's say here I would do first 4 root 2, because root 2 is the lowest root, then minus 4 root 3, then plus 5 root 6, then we have all the roots, and then do minus 10 at the end. But again, the book is not that picky, so you can also just leave them in the order that you found them right here. And again, those we cannot simplify because different roots. Okay? And then f. Let's see if f is just as much work. Root 3 minus 2 root 2 times root 2 plus 4 root 3. Here we go, I guess. And this one is even with more roots. Here at least we had 5 and minus 5 and 2, which were regular numbers. So let's do it down here. No, do it in black, please. Also, let's check if I copy the exercise correctly. Root 3 minus 2, no, root 2, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, let's start. Okay, root 3 times root 2 is root 6. Done. Root 3 times 4 root 3 is 4, and root 3 times root 3 is 3. Because root 9 is 3, or root 3 times root 3 is the same as root 3 squared, which cancels each other out, etc. Done. Minus 2 root 2 times root 2, negative times positive, so it stays negative. 2, here there's, you could say a 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. Check. And then negative 2 times positive 4 is minus 8. Minus 2 times 4. And root 2 times root 3 is root 6. And now we have to check. First do the calculations. We have root 6 plus 12 minus 4 minus 8 root 6. And this we can simplify, right? Remember, these two are like terms, and these two are like terms. So you get root 6 minus 8 root 6. You have one of them, right? So you subtract 8, so you are left with minus 7 root 6. And plus 12 minus 4 is minus 8. Plus 8, of course. Thank you. And those are not like terms, so this is your final answer. So this is a lot of arithmetics, and it's easy to make arithmetic errors, therefore. Hopefully I didn't make any in my video. If so, I'm sorry, first of all, but be wary. I mean, I make sometimes errors here as well. Check yourself. Also on the test, check if you copied the exercise correctly. I see people not copying the exercise correctly. I did that for F as well, because it's very easy to write down a root 3 instead of a root 2, or just forget about a root altogether. Yeah, and of course then it's difficult for me to grade you as well on the test. Okay? Good luck, practice well, practice all the exercises if you find this difficult, because you really need it. Okay? Good luck practicing.